Oh, hey there, thanks so much for clicking on my video. So today I'm out for a wee hike. As the thumbnail gives away, I'm doing a small section of the Greensand Ridge. So the Greensand Ridge is a long distance trail which runs between Leighton, Buzzard and a place called Gay. I do hope I said that correctly. It's approximately 60 kilometers or around 40 miles. The walk takes in some really beautiful countryside, going past some historic buildings such as Woburn House, Stock Grove and many more along the way. I've only done a short section before. I walked from Leighton Buzzard to Eversholt, where I camped up with a good friend of mine. So we only did about 20 kilometers of it. Today I'm just retracing those steps towards Stock Grove. Today I'm walking towards Stock Grove, where I'm going to find a nice little place in the woodlands to have a spot of lunch, and then I'm going to walk the shorter journey back. So the total today, I think it's going to be around 15 kilometers, give or take, maybe a little bit less than that. But I'll bring you back with some interesting sights along the way. Thanks for joining me. This might just be my opinion, but I always find it really sad when you're walking along a remote path, and it's fairly remote. I'm a long way from anywhere at the moment, and there's fencing separating the woodland from the path. I kind of feel like there's no real need for it. You can still get over the fence, so if you wanted to be a scally you could still do that, but it just stops people who really enjoy the woodland from, you know, popping in, having a sit down on a cup of tea. What's your thoughts on this? Do you think the land should be separated? Do you think it should be protected? Or would you like to see things a bit more open? Stick your comments below. So the Greensand Ridge is rated as an easy walk, but you definitely need your legs for some of these short climbs. This bit through the woodland, it's quite steep, you know. It's not really stick worthy, but you could always throw a set in the bag if you find some of the walk is challenging. It's one of many very inviting benches, but I'm trying to persevere. I'm trying to carry on and get to the woods for my lunch, so I'm not going to stop too much along the way, but there's always somewhere to sit and enjoy the views like this one. So we've entered the beautiful Rammamere Park. Those of you that follow my other channel will know this is where I did park run just last week, and I'll be back again very soon doing more park runs. It's definitely one of my favourites. So Rammamere Park is part of a large combination of parks, I believe, run and operated by the Greensand Trust. It includes here, and it also includes Stock Grove among others, and they're really well looked after. Lots of work is done in the forest. It's not left to just grow. Up here you also have a coffee shop as well, which is nice to visit, and lots of things for children to come and enjoy and adventure around. So Rammamere Park, be sure to come and check it out. I'll stick a link below for more information on Rammamere. Cool. So we've made it into the second half of Stock Grove Park and Rammamere Heath. Now this is where I spend a lot of time when I come here camping in these woodlands, so I know this quite well. The weather has changed, so I think it's time for me to really think about finding somewhere to set up the tarp and get a bit of lunch on. It's getting quite late now. I'm going to go up onto the heath itself. It's got lovely views up there, so I'll get a tarp set up and then I'll show you what we're having for lunch and talk about the walk home. So I wouldn't normally set up here. This is the top of the heath. It's Rammamere heath. We shouldn't get disturbed because you're not supposed to bring the dogs up here because there's wild sheep. The pathway runs along the back. There's a fence line along the path. It's really nice. I've just threw up a ridge line, put my tarp on top there, just to protect me from the bit of rain that's coming in. It's only a little bit, but it comes in bits and bobs. So we're going to have a cup of coffee and a little bit of lunch before heading back. Okay, so what have we got for food today? We have got some leftover MRE stuff. I've got a Italian breadsticks. I've got a beef stick. I've got some cheese and jalapenos. And for mains, we've got meatballs in marinara. So I think I'm going to have the breadsticks and the meatballs today. So that's going to be quite a late lunch. It's 3:30. So yeah, quite a late one. Alright, let's get this on. I've often thought about doing a wild camp up here because the views from just over the top there are absolutely stunning. It overlooks the big house, the farmhouse and beyond. Maybe one day I'll come up late in the evening and just sort of check it out. Maybe bring all my gear and be ready. If it is busy in the evenings, in the afternoons when people are taking their dogs for a walk, I can always head back into the woodland where I know it's much quieter. So I'm going to bring this video to the end. I've got to hike back now. I'm going to go same way I came and then take a little shortcut once I get out of the woods at the end of Rammamere Park. Thanks very much for joining me on this little adventure. Short and sweet. Hike out, have a bit of lunch, hike home. I hope you do the same. And until next time, see ya!